Selfishness is a unique and complex design of humanity. Is it healthy to be completely selfless? How healthy is healthy selfishness? What would a healthy amount of selfish thoughts be? To what degree is an acceptable amount of selfish emotions? What would we consider a healthy amount of selfish actions? We are all born curious, but all of our curiosities are selfish curiosities. We wish to consume what helps us to feel better. Why was the human experience designed around selfishness being the desired necessity for pleasure and joy and happiness for humanity? How much selfishness were we meant to handle as human beings and spiritual spirits? What is the amount of selfishness we can be in life before we hit our max amount of our selfish capacity? Is the amount of selfishness each person can obtain before maxing out different? If we had a max of 10,000, would 10,001 push us too far into spiritual darkness? Is there a point beyond maxed out selfishness? That the road out of spiritual darkness seems to become a road we feel has become too long for a journey back towards spiritual light. Why were we allowed selfishness if it leads to spiritual darkness and can make us more selfish? Are we selfish by any defining factor that describes selfishness as taking? Does taking alone define all the human race as selfish? The very thing we are told is bad or acceptable, to a limit, is the one thing all of humanity has in common, and that is the need to be selfish. We share an innate human need and desire. That is something we find acceptable when we are taking, but may judge others for taking the same or more, and that is a need to be selfish. Why would we be created to desire something that feels so good and pleasing and condemns us all at the same time, and that is human selfishness? It seems we are left to choose our levels of selfishness, but we are not truly left in this life with the ability to be completely selfless. True selflessness is to only give and not take anything at all. No matter what we do for someone or something that requires nothing in return, we will still require something from reality to sustain us, which is taking. We cannot escape being selfish. We can only dictate how selfish we will allow ourselves to be. How selfish is every thought and every action and every feeling that we have? Why would selfishness be anything ever created to get us human beings high? Why is there a necessity of selfishness at all? We usually seek out things and people that we can be selfish with so we can be happy. When do we find reciprocating selfishness as stimulating as self-selfishness? Selfishness is the one most single thing that destroys everything in a human being's life, and everything selfishness touches it destroys.